Hey, everybody. I love doing these. Top 5 things you need to do before you retire. These are the absolute bare essentials. You've got to do this stuff before you walk into that retirement phase of life, before you graduate into retirement. I like that better. The obvious one, or at least should be obvious, get out of debt, please. Look, the best thing in the world is being completely debt-free heading into retirement. No mortgage to pay, no student loans, no auto loans, no credit cards, none of that stuff. Get rid of that. We are adults now. We don't need to have debt. Debt is bad. But I have to admit there are plenty of people in retirement that maybe a mortgage payment is fine. Maybe a car payment is fine. We've seen plenty of people with big incomes that they don't spend all of. So big pension and Social Security income, maybe it's a single person with $8,000 a month guaranteed income coming in and they only spend 5 of it. Somebody like that having a mortgage, not too big of a deal. If your guaranteed income pays for that mortgage, I'm fine with it. It's not too big of a deal. But if you're relying on your savings to pay debt, that's usually a problem, makes you uncomfortable in retirement. So the vast majority of us, we need to make sure we're out of debt before we head into retirement. Next one, know your budget, please. Okay, I don't need down to the pennies. I don't need you to save every receipt. I need you to have an idea of what the I have to pays are. On a monthly basis, what does it take to keep the shelter over your head, keep you fed, pay all the insurances and taxes, all the things we have to pay? Okay, in order to survive, we have to pay X amount every month. Great, that's what we need. And then know what you're going to want to do in retirement. What does travel cost you? Do you travel cheaply? Do you have expensive hobbies? What kind of fun are you going to have in retirement? Everybody's going to have a different budget depending on what their fun entails. Okay, so the I want to pays. Make sure you go through those and have an idea of what they are. Are there any big one-time expenses? How many more cars are you going to need? Are you thinking about a second home? Are you thinking about a motor home? Okay, round the world cruise with the family. Got to do that at least once. Things like that. What are those big one-time expenses that we have to prepare for? And then the emergencies. This will help you be realistic about these things. You have to remember you have insurance for a reason. So we make sure that we understand our deductibles. We go through, we have things like air conditioner, maybe roof issues. We've got kids, we've got the kids I've seen be the biggest of all emergencies and most expensive. So be careful. Put some limits on that if you need to. And then long-term care, how are we going to pay for that as well? Okay, so we got out of debt, we know our budget. Now it's time to understand your income. Know where all your income is going to come from. And the only sources I consider income: Social Security, pension. I can be pushed into realizing that rental income, especially if you have no mortgage payment, rental income can be a fairly reliant source of income. And then those income annuities are another source of guaranteed income. So 3 of the 4 of these are guaranteed income. The other one is a fairly reliable source of investment income. Okay. Then know your resources. Pull this stuff together here. Okay, how much money do you have saved? What's your budget going to look like in retirement? Again, not down to the penny, not watching every dollar. No. We're adults. We can stay within the goalposts here. That's what we're looking to do. You take how many years until you're 100 and divide that into your total savings. Okay, so in my example here, I have $1 million divided by 35 years to 100 years old. 1 million divided by 35 is $28,571. That's very simple. That tells me how much you can spend from your $1 million every year for 35 years without running out of money until you're 100. Okay? This is math that becomes extremely important for you. Okay? Heading into retirement, do this math and then do it every year thereafter. It's important, and you got to see this, and you got to know how this works for you, because that 28,000 added to your guaranteed income of my example of 40,000 between Social Security, pension, and those guaranteed income annuities. that means your total income is $68,000. Well, if your I need to pays and I want to pays were $60,000, your resources meet your expectations. That is really important. And that gives you that deep breath and says, we're going to be okay. And then every year, you're going to withdraw the money you need, hopefully somewhere around $28,000, but then because you're invested, hopefully that money will grow. And because that money grows, that calculation changes. And because you're a year older, that calculation changes. And you will see what you can withdraw every year gets a little bigger. And that helps you keep up with inflation. Okay? That's why we invest our money. So it will help us keep up with inflation so we don't run out of money. And one last thing, reduce risk if you need your savings. Okay, so this is the last thing we do. We've assessed our needs. We know where we're at in life. We know what we're doing. And then we have to look at our portfolio and make the adjustments. Because the higher your dependence on your portfolio for income, the less it should be left to chance. The larger your withdrawal rate, the greater the effect of volatility in your investments. Okay? Deposit into volatility to build wealth. That's what we did. Our 401k, put it in the mutual funds, hopefully invested as clean and safe as it can, and it grows, it goes up and down, and when the market's down, it's on sale, and all those fun things they told you to keep you motivated to keep putting money into that through your life. You built wealth in that volatility. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? But when you go to retire and you start taking money out, withdraw from stability to maintain that wealth. That is the mantra. Those are the 3 keys to your transition into retirement. It's so important. You look at the chart next to this. On the left-hand vertical side there is the amount of money, the percentage of your portfolio that should be in the stock market. The more you need your money, the less you should have it in the stock market. These are developed by statisticians, and all the computer systems in the industry run off this stuff. Schwab's, Fidelity's, Edward Jones's, all the big boys out there, all the computer. This is what they teach in the CFP, Certified Financial Planner, because this is based on factual information. And we all know, people that study investing and how investing works, we all know the volatility is a huge no-no when you need your money, okay? If you're withdrawing, you've got to have some stability in there to pull from when the market's not doing well. That's the number one thing your portfolio should be planned out, ready for, okay? So those are the 5 things you've got to do before you head into retirement. I hope that helped. I love doing these little 5 things, 8 things. I've got a whole bunch of them on YouTube for you. So go look for the other ones and enjoy. We love this stuff. Give us a call, shoot us an email if there's anything I can help with. Even make comments below. I keep an eye on those comments and respond when I can. All right. Subscribe if you haven't. We're putting 3-4 videos on here every single week. And I really honestly love doing this. So keep coming back for more. We'll see you next week. Thanks again.